With almost twice as many stores as any other fast food chain in the United States, Subway is the largest restaurant chain on the planet and sells more than 8 million sandwiches a day. In fact, since the beginning of this video, they've already sold more than 1,000 sandwiches. Now take a look at the process that brings a Subway sandwich to you. The production of a Subway sandwich, although it seems like a simple assembly process, done right in front of the customer. It is actually the final result of a complex, gigantic industrial system that involves several countries, cutting-edge technologies, and a highly precise distribution logistics. To understand how the product gets to the table, you need to look back, long before the sandwich artist opens the bread. Everything starts at the macroscopic level, with the graphic standardization of ingredients, where the main goal is for a sandwich eaten in São Paulo to have exactly the same flavor and texture profile as one eaten in New York or Tokyo. This uniformity requires that each component, from the wheat grain to the mayonnaise emulsion, goes through rigorous processes that ensure the final product is predictable and efficient. For the scale of tens of thousands of stores, bread is undoubtedly the heart of the process in the item that most demands direct industrial technology, both inside and outside the unit. Contrary to what many people think, the stores don't make the dough from scratch. The bread base arrives at the units in the form of frozen dough sticks. These sticks are manufactured in gigantic baking plants that process tons of enriched wheat flour. In these factories, the dough is mixed with water, yeast, sugars, and biological conditioners, which are used to give it that characteristic elasticity.
Após a mistura,
It is mechanically shaped and subjected to a rapid freezing process known as flash freezing. Afterwards, it interrupts the activity of the yeast without killing it, allowing the product to be transported over long distances in refrigerated trucks without losing its properties. When they arrive at the store, these sticks go through a controlled thawing process, followed by proofing in the proofer, where heat and humidity activate the yeast, making the dough rise. The final touch is baking in the local oven, which gives the bread its soft crust and the aroma that spreads throughout the store. This hybrid method, with industrial dough production and local baking, is what allows for global scale. While keeping the freshness as the bread is prepared in the store, the proteins go through a much more intense industrial process. Meats like turkey, ham, and roast beef are not just simple cuts from animals. They are processed products designed to optimize slicing and preservation. The chicken used in the chain also follows a specific processing logic. It can come in strips or larger pieces, usually pre-cooked and individually frozen at poultry processing plants. The chicken is marinated so that the flavor penetrates the fibers and so it doesn't dry out when it's reheated. In the case of teriyaki chicken, does the meat already come mixed with the sauce, or is it prepared to absorb it quickly? On the other hand, the barbecue steak or smoked chicken go through flavoring processes that simulate the taste of grill or smoke, allowing the sensory experience to be delivered even without a real grill inside the establishments. It's a flavor engineering that focuses on convenience.
e na rapidez da montagem final.
Vegetables represent a crucial part of the freshness logistics and show the agricultural side of production. Items like lettuce, tomato, and bell pepper are usually supplied by regional producers or distributors who follow strict food safety standards. Lettuce, for example, often arrives at stores already cleaned and cut in bags with modified atmosphere. This technology replaces the oxygen inside the packaging with other gases such as nitrogen, which slows down the oxidation process. And it makes the leaf stay green and crisp for a longer time. Tomatoes and cucumbers, on the other hand, are usually sliced daily inside the store itself to maintain the water integrity and texture, since these vegetables lose quality very quickly after being cut industrially. This balance between what comes ready from the factory and what is prepared on the spot is what defines the employee's workflow. Another invisible but essential pillar is the sauces and cheeses. The cheeses are produced in large-scale dairies and arrive already sliced and separated by paper to make quick operation easier. They are formulated to melt in a specific way under the heat of the chain's fast ovens. As for the sauces, like the famous chipotle or the parmesan with herbs, they are emulsions created in food laboratories. They need to be stable, meaning the oil can't separate on one side and the water on the other, even when the temperature changes. For that, stabilizers and preservatives are used, which allow the sauce to keep the same flavor and viscosity for weeks. These sauces are packaged in large plastic bags or tubes, which are attached to dispensers on the assembly line, ensuring that the amount applied is always the same through the use of dosing nozzles. The logistical network that connects the factories to the stores is operated, for the most part, by independent purchasing cooperatives. These organizations manage the inventory of thousands of items, from napkins to meats. The system operates with mathematical precision. Store managers place orders based on sales forecasts, and refrigerated trucks deliver supplies several times a week. This model prevents ingredients from sitting for too long and ensures that inventory turns over quickly within the store. The production process culminates in the famous assembly line. Here, industrial reality meets customer service. The employee follows a logical sequence designed to be as fast as possible. The bread is cut at a specific angle. The meat is placed in quantities predetermined by the brand's manual, and the cheese is placed on top. If the customer chooses a hot sandwich, the product goes into a high-speed oven that combines convection with microwaves, allowing the bread to become crispy and the meat hot in just a few seconds. This equipment is a key piece of counter technology, as it replaces slow conventional ovens with a solution that processes food in a uniform and accelerated way. The final step is customization with vegetables and sauces. There is a suggested order for placing the items. First, the larger leaves, then the smaller vegetables, and finally the sauces and seasonings. This organization isn't just for looks, but it's functional, as it helps keep the ingredients inside the bread while the customer eats. The wrapping also follows a folding technique, which compacts the sandwich and prevents it from falling apart during transport. This entire process, repeated millions of times a day around the world, shows that making a sandwich is not just an isolated act of cooking, and that was today's video. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel.